Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Banjo-Tooie. Last time, we started to explore the Isle of Hags and got ourselves our first Jiggy from King Jingling. Unfortunately, the King of the Jinjos got zapped by Grunty and is now dead. That's another person dead by Grunty's hands. But with that one Jiggy, we were able to open up our first world here in the game thanks to the help of Jiggy Wiggy. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and enter the first world of the game. Welcome to Mayahem Temple, and the first thing we see as soon as we enter this world is this swirly pad in front of us, so let's go ahead and activate it. This is a warp pad. Find another one in this world, and you'll be able to warp between them. So, just like the name implies, warp pads are very helpful because you'll go ahead and warp around the land, so it's your fast travel option in each world. So we're going to want to find all the warp pads whenever we can. But now we're collecting some notes. Now we can go ahead and find whoever this guy is and use these notes with him. But as you can see here, we got this giant statue, but we also have a pad on it with Mumble's face. Try to walk on top of it, and you get this message. This Mumble pad. Mumble will stand on it to perform great magic. And this said great magic, again, is only for Mumbo, so we need to actually keep that in mind for later. We want to go ahead and climb up this mountain more, and we have that same voice talking to us now. Hey! Get your sorry hind over here and press B. Okay, are you serious? I just got sniped. That's disappointing. Let's go ahead and actually interact with this little device here. Drill Sergeant Jamjars reporting for duty, sir. Banjo, get a load of this bozo. He looks like Bottles in uniform. Of course I look like Bottles, you punk. He's my brother. How's the geek keeping anyhow? Not too good. Recently deceased at the hands of Grunty the Witch. Sorry to hear that, Fleaball. Did he go out fighting? Playing cards, actually. Typical. So, you'll be wanting to learn some of my special moves to get even with the witch, huh? Not really. Bottles taught us loads in the last game. Ah, you only knew novice moves. You'll get nowhere without my advanced techniques. Sounds good to us, Jamjars. Why not teach us a few now? Not that easy, punk. You gotta prove your sorry selves first by collecting me a few notes. Come back if you find enough. Hey, wait a minute. I see you got enough notes for my first lesson. Listen and learn, ya punks. What you need is an aiming sight. Hit the target, then you might. First person view by pressing Y. Hit LT or RT to fire with accuracy. Finding it tough, huh? Looks like you need some rations. That'll be all. Dismissed. Oh, Jamjars, you're so stupid. So every once in a while when Jamjars tries to get back into his little hut there, he will bonk his head because the door shuts on him too fast. So, yeah, that was a little bit of a problem there for him. But now we can go ahead and demonstrate that move we just learned from Jamjars. So if we go into our first person mode here, you have the aiming reticle now. So if we go ahead and press one of the triggers, we'll shoot out an egg. And shooting these statues right in the crystal on the top, we'll just knock them out of commission for a bit. It won't kill them per se, but now they won't be shooting at us, so that's helpful. But hey, here's our second warp pad. So now we can go ahead and step on it, press B, and warp around to the other warp pads we activate in the world. So we only have one other option right now, which is just the world entrance. So we're not going to be using the warp pad at the moment. Let's go ahead and enter Mumbo's hut here, which had a bit of a redesign compared to the last game. And here we got ourselves a Globo. They're supposed to have magical powers. And with those said magical powers, we can enlist Mumbo's help in our journey. Use a giant shiny one to open the huge stone doors. Well, that's something we definitely need to know. But now it's time to wake up Mumbo. Come on, bud. Wake up. We need your help. Ah, Baron Bird here at last. Mumbo best shaman in game. So, built new skull. Mumbo also want to help, but must first find me magic. We got a Globo. Must give magic creature to Mumbo, if want help. Want Mumbo's help? Oh, of course. Sure, we need all the help we can get. Throw it in Mumbo's bag. Ah, Mumbo get to be hero at last. Press X to see Mighty Shaman Zapstick. Return me to my chair when want to be bear and bird again. Yeah, so we actually have a playable Mumbo in this game. Mumbo's role in the first game is really just as an assistant character, so we didn't really have a chance to play as Mumbo, but in this game, on the other hand, he is a fully playable character. So just like Mumbo said, we can go ahead and press the X button to do his attack, which just uses his little shaman stick here that send a bolt of electricity down enemy spines. It takes a bit to actually kill an opponent with that move, but it is still pretty effective nonetheless. But Mumbo's main role here in life is to activate things with these Mumbo pads. So first things first, I want to go ahead and read the sign before we activate that Mumbo pad. The mighty shiny one sleeps until his services are required once again. So let's go ahead and wake up this mighty one. Step on the Mumbo pad here, press the B button to see Mumbo's mighty magic, and let's go ahead and wake him up. Hope this works. It's time to summon the Golden Goliath. Mumbo magic make Golden Goliath rise. Magic only lasts short time. Can control me again. Return statue to its base and press B. Yeah, so we can actually control this giant statue for a short amount of time. We only have about 75 seconds to use the statue, so it's not much time, but it's more than enough to get a lot of stuff done here. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick that boulder revealing a flight pad. We can go ahead and use that as Banjo-Kazooie later. But I want to go over here to this door and kick it open. So now we can gain access to this area as a whole. So this is the Jade Snake Grove. And in here, we get ourselves quicksand here. If we walk into this quicksand with any other character, they will just get spat back out to the dry land. But this golden statue can walk in this quicksand no problem whatsoever. So, using the statue, we got ourselves a Jiggy in the quicksand. So that's pretty cool. But now we want to go ahead and make our way over to this pyramid and kick open this door. So there you go. Now we have access to that area as Banjo-Kazooie. So, there's really not much else we can do with the statue right now because we're just about out of time. So, we're just going to come down this hallway and activate this warp pad. We can't use warp pads as this golden statue, but we can activate them, which is a nice little thing. So, at this point, we won't be able to make it back to that pedestal in time. We can try, but at this point, I'm just waiting down the timer now until it clocks down to 0. So, we'll come out here, I guess, kick this thing because I didn't like how the stone head was looking at me. And out of time. Mumbo magic run out. So if the statue's timer runs out, it'll just automatically get put back to rest. So we need to use it one more time here for something. So we're gonna go ahead and wake him up for a couple seconds and then he can go back to sleep. So we gotta go through this whole process again with the spell. Luckily it's sped up a bit. You don't have to watch the whole thing over again. But now with the golden statue, we're going to come up here and kick open the second stone door that we see. Let's go ahead and kick this stone statue because, again, he's looking at me funny. I don't really want to deal with that. And let's kick open the door. We don't actually open the door per se, but we do open up a little crack there at the bottom. So that definitely helps. That crack is big enough for all my characters to fit through. Mumbo can go there along with Banjo-Kazooie. So let's go ahead and return the statue back to its little pedestal. And now we have control of Mumbo once again. Now with Mumbo, I'm actually going to go ahead and make our way into that little crack we just created with the stone statue. But as you see here, the stone heads that we did kick as the Golden Goliath statue, they don't stay dead. So there's no real way to actually kill those guys permanently. They will come back. But here in the prison compound, we got ourselves some enemies here. We can go ahead and zap them with Mumbo's stick. And it takes a little bit there to kill, but we can easily kill them. But here we got ourselves these 3 switches here of a star, moon, and sun. But they don't really do anything on their own. We need to actually know a special combination in order to actually open this door with those switches. We don't really know the combination. There's nothing else we can really do here. So let's go ahead and use this warp pad to get back to Mumbo's skull. We're done with Mumbo at this point. We really just needed him to control that golden statue for a little bit. And now that we did everything we can with the statue, Mumbo's role here in Mayahem Temple is now complete. So, go back to your chair, Mumbo. You deserve a rest after all that. So now with Banjo-Kazooie, let's go ahead and make our way out of here. So, I'm going to go ahead and step onto this warp pad once again. And let's go over to this area here, Wumba's Wigwam. Here's where we actually use the golden statue to do a lot of stuff. So I'm actually going to climb up here up these stairs. And we have another area here for jam jars to teach us a new move. So let's go ahead and learn something new. Listen up to what you're told. On the edges you can now hold. Move along with the greatest of ease. Button X to attack what you please. That'll be all. Dismissed. Yeah, so now with this move, just like Jam Jar said, we can go ahead and grab ledges. And with that, we can climb up here and get ourselves a white Jinjo. And now that we have the white Jinjo, we actually just completed our first family of Jinjos. There's only one white Jinjo in the whole white Jinjo family, so this is the easiest Jinjo family to complete in the whole game. Phew, I'm grateful for your help. I thought I'd never find my way home. Take this Jiggy for your trouble. So once you complete a family of Jinjos, you'll get yourself a Jiggy that counts towards the Isle of Hags. So we just got ourselves our second Jiggy of that area. There's 10 Jiggies in total for each world, including the hub world. And luckily for us, we don't have to worry about finding any more Jiggies in the hub. It's more or less just finding Jinjos to get more Jiggies in the hub world in general. So that's nice. I was actually thinking of taking the warp pad back up to Mumbo's house, but instead, let's go ahead and use this flight pad here to actually get up there instead. Make things a little bit easier. For starters, we can fly all the way up here to the top of this temple, and we got ourselves a Jiggy. So let's go ahead and collect this, and there you go. You don't actually need to fly up here for that Jiggy. I just find that to be easier, because as you can see, there is a walkway you can go ahead and take up here. But here, got ourselves a new collectible here. Nice one, punk. Treble Cliffs are worth a mighty 20 notes. And with that treble collect, we're almost there to the note completion in each world. There are 100 notes in each world, and you have two ways to collect them. Batches of 5, or the one treble clef, which is a batch of 20 notes. So that's all 100 in this world now. Let's go ahead and make our way over this bridge and get ourselves another Jinjo. That was an orange Jinjo. You only need 2 of those to complete that family, which is not bad if you ask me. Look at the state of poor Bovita's field. This plague of filthy flies is scoffing my crops. Oh dear. How can we help? Get rid of the pesky flies, of course. Say your prayers, flies. So to make this easier, I'm actually going to get on top of this hut here, which will give us a better vantage point for killing these flies. If I can actually backflip up here, that is. I'm going to go ahead and enter first person mode and start shooting down these flies, using the zoom feature here that we learned from one of Bottle's kids in the last episode to make this even easier. Amazing! I could hardly believe it. You Wheatley scored those flies out. Enough of the crap jokes, lady. I believe you owe us a Jiggy. Oh, I guess I do. Yeah, so there we go. Killing all the flies in this area grants us a Jiggy. That's a pretty easy one to get. I want to come up here first before we collect the Jiggy and get ourselves an extra honeycomb piece. Returning from Banjo-Kazooie, we want to go ahead and collect those honeycomb pieces to gain more life in the game. So that was very important for us to collect. And now with that honeycomb piece, we're one step closer to actually getting more life in the game. But I want to go ahead and make our way over here now and not get shot by the stone head. That'd be really bad. But I want to make my way over here next to Mumbo's hut up to this building in general. So we're going to go ahead and shoot these mouths here outside. Shooting these 6 snake mouths will actually open the way into this building. The aim is a little bit awkward here in Banjo-Tooie. First person aiming, it kind of controls oddly nowadays controls because the cursor does snap back to the center if you let go of the stick. So it's not like traditional aiming nowadays where the cursor just stays in the last location you used it in. So it could take some time to get used to. And now that we open the door, let's go ahead and make our way inside the treasure chamber. What's up with you? It's terrible! I can't find Targazan's favorite priceless relic thingy. I think it may have been stolen. Tough luck. We don't care. Help, Chief Bloatas and find it, and I'll reward you with a jiggy. A jiggy? Well, in that case. Great! I'll open the other door for you. But please hurry. Yeah, so now with the other door open, we can go ahead and enter this place from the top using that flight pad, but let's go ahead and climb our way up to the top instead, because we're already in the building. This is actually faster than flying at this point. So now with our newly learned climb ledges ability, we can go ahead and shimmy our way across the top of this building and make our way to the rooftops. So go ahead, grab this ledge and be very careful when these enemies are popping out of the walls here, because it's very easy to get clipped by one of these guys. Hitboxes in the game are a little bit weird with those enemies, I'm not gonna lie, because you could be nowhere near them in terms of how it looks graphically, but you can still get hurt because, again, the hitboxes on those enemies are kind of big. So we want to take them out whenever we see them. I'm going to use this jump pad to jump up here and grab ourselves a Cheeto page. Immediately make our way back inside the temple because there's really no reason to be outside. Actually, we need to make our way up to the top of the treasure chamber here and activate this gate. Opening this gate actually leads us somewhere pretty interesting. We found ourselves our first warp point of the game, so this is Ooga Booga's Cave. And now we're actually in World 5. This is not part of World 1 at all. This is a sneak peek of one of the later worlds of the game. It's actually a cool idea, if you want to be honest. Every single world in this game is interconnected with another one. And it's a very nice change. At the same time, it gives you a nice sneak peek as to what's to come later in the game. We can't really do too much here right now. There's a lot of stuff here we can't interact with at all just yet because we don't have the right moves. And down here, we can't even learn a new move from jam jars because it costs 420 notes. Forget it, punk. Won't be needing to learn this one. Just Flea Girl there. Oh. Yeah, so I don't know what that means. We can't even learn the move regardless. But even if we had enough notes, it sounds like we get turned away anyways. So, not much we can really do here. Really, all we can do in this area right now is what we're actually supposed to be here for. We're supposed to collect that shiny relic thingy, as we were told, and bring it back to World 1. So in order to do this, we need to go very, very slow. And if we go even just a bit fast, we'll wake up this caveman. Huh? Get out of Ooga's cave! Yeah, so we wake up the caveman, then he immediately throws us back out into the treasure chamber. And we gotta start that long walk across this stuff all over again. It's really annoying to do this because honestly, you have to barely hold up with the joystick. And if you nudge it ever so slightly, you'll go too fast. You're supposed to move at this speed of moving now where Banjo is just swinging his arms outright. But you can kind of go a little bit faster. And oh, that was bad. My hand barely moved. And because of it, Banjo went too fast and woke up the caveman again. I hate sneaking sections in this game because they're very awkward. I feel the sneaking sections are a bit easier to do in the N64 version because of the analog stick. It's just easier to do sneaking with that. But on the Xbox One controller in your hand, things are a little more awkward to work with. So now I'm just going to do some clever movement to get over to the other side instead. I'm not going to be going super slow because one, it takes forever. And two, I want to do some very special movement to just avoid the sneaking in general. That way I don't have to worry about just user error screwing up. So I'm actually going to let myself get burned here. And that'll propel me forward. And I can go ahead and just bypass all this crap on the floor in general. Making our way over to the priceless relic. So let's go ahead and grab this thing and get out of here. We walk pretty dang slow when we carry this thing. But luckily for us, as soon as we get to the relic, there's a shortcut back to the way we came. So we just gotta follow this long tunnel all the way to the other side. And now we're back to the entry point that we made our way into this cave. So let's go ahead and get out of here, go back to the treasure chamber, and get our jiggy. Luckily, once we get back into the treasure chamber, we don't have to worry about moving super slow anymore because Banjo decides to put that relic into his back pocket. So that makes things a lot easier on us. You found Tarzan's priceless relic thingy. The caveman stole it. Why, those thieving little... Careful, this is a family game. Oh yes, so it is. Why don't I just give you a jiggy? That makes sense to me. Ah! Pebble gone. Be in much trouble. Big beatings. You gotta feel bad for that caveman, because he was just doing his job. He was the one who stole it, he was just the one who was guarding it, but they did technically steal someone else's thing. So, you kinda have to deal with the consequences either way. Let's go ahead and get some of our health back that we lost in that section. Now we're back to full health. So, now, we're done in that area, don't have to worry about that temple anymore, but let's go ahead and make our way over to this structure here, because this here is actually Tarzan's temple. And in here, we can go ahead and see who that guy was that we were just getting told about. But I think I'm going to go ahead and save this temple for the next episode. Next time on Let's Play Banjo-Tooie, we'll enter Tarzan's temple and see what he's all about. I'll see you guys next time.